The party morning started like any other family gathering at Mom's house in the suburbs. I arrived early with my daughter Emma, age 7, carrying a small bag of modest gifts wrapped in simple paper. The decorations were already up, the tree twinkling with lights that had been in our family for decades. Mom greeted us at the door with warm hugs and the smell of cinnamon rolls baking. We'd barely settled in when my brother Marcus pulled up in his new BMW 7 Series, the metallic blue gleaming in the winter sun. His twin boys Tyler and Mason jumped out with shopping bags from Nordstrom and the Apple Store, their designer sneakers crunching on the snowy driveway. "Look what we got!" Tyler shouted before even reaching the door, waving a PlayStation 5 box above his head. "Dad bought us 2 of them. One for each of us." Mason held up another bag. "And we got VR headsets and like 20 new games." Emma clutched my hand tighter, her small fingers cold despite her mittens. She'd asked for just one thing this year: a regular Barbie doll. Not the fancy collector's edition. Not the dream house. Just a basic Barbie with a nice dress. She'd shown me the exact one at Target, priced at $19. "That's all I want, Mommy," she'd said, her eyes bright. "Just one Barbie so I can play with something nice." Marcus walked past us without so much as a nod, his wool coat probably worth more than my monthly rent. He carried armfuls of wrapped presents, each one elaborately decorated with silk ribbons and designer gift wrap. His wife Jennifer followed, her new Chanel handbag swinging from her shoulder, a diamond tennis bracelet catching the light with every movement. "Careful with those, Marcus," she called out in her practiced sweet voice. "The watches alone cost $8,000. And don't forget the fragile sticker on the crystal decanter set." "I've got it, Jennifer," Marcus replied, his tone suggesting this wasn't the first time she'd reminded him. They brushed past Emma without acknowledging her. My daughter pressed closer to my leg and I felt her small body tense. She'd been so excited about today, had helped me bake cookies last night, had worn her nicest dress even though it was a hand-me-down from her cousin. Inside, Mom had set up her usual elaborate party spread. The dining table was covered with her best china, plates of cookies and fudge arranged carefully. The smell of roasting turkey filled the house. She'd worked for days to make everything perfect. Marcus immediately positioned his family in the center of the living room, arranging them like a magazine photo shoot. He stacked their mountain of gifts strategically, making sure every luxury brand label was visible. Tiffany blue boxes, the distinctive orange of Hermès, red Cartier packaging. "Everyone ready for presents?" Marcus announced like a game show host. "Boys, you first. Show everyone what real success looks like." "Emma, sweetie, come sit with Grandma," Mom called, trying to include her. My daughter sat quietly on the couch, making herself small, while Marcus's boys tore through their presents with practiced enthusiasm. New iPad Pros with the latest Apple pencils. Designer clothes with tags still attached showing triple-digit prices. Remote control cars that cost more than I spent on groceries in a month. The living room became a showcase of excess, wrapping paper flying, boxes stacking higher. Tyler held up a new skateboard. "This one's electric. It goes 20 miles per hour." Mason unwrapped a complete Lego architecture set of the Taj Mahal, the kind that takes weeks to build and costs $400. "Mom, can we build this tonight?" "After dinner, sweetie," Jennifer cooed, brushing his hair back. The comparison was painful. Emma sat with her hands in her lap, watching the display of wealth with wide eyes. I wanted to leave to take her somewhere she didn't have to feel less than, but Mom had worked so hard on this dinner. "Your turn, Emma," Mom said gently, handing her a small wrapped box. Her voice carried hope, like maybe this gift would make up for the disparity. Emma carefully unwrapped it, her small fingers working at the tape slowly, trying not to tear the paper. She was always careful like that, always grateful. Inside was a Barbie doll, but something was immediately horribly wrong. The doll's arm hung at an odd angle, clearly broken at the shoulder joint. The hair was matted and cut unevenly, chunks missing like someone had taken scissors to it in frustration. The dress was stained with what looked like marker or paint, the fabric torn at the hem. This wasn't a new Barbie. This wasn't even a gently used Barbie. This was trash someone had tried to pass off as a gift. "What is that?" Jennifer laughed. "Is that from a thrift store?" Emma's eyes welled up with tears. She tried to smile, tried to be grateful, but her lip trembled. Marcus leaned forward, smirking. "That's what children of failures deserve. Can't expect better when your mom can't even hold down a real job. The room went quiet. Emma's tears spilled over. Marcus, Mom said weakly, but she didn't push further. I took a slow breath. Emma, honey, go get some cookies from the kitchen. She nodded and left quickly, wiping her eyes. What? Marcus spread his hands innocently. I'm just being honest. You work at that little bookstore, 20 hours a week? Meanwhile, I'm closing million-dollar deals. Someone needs to teach her reality. Jennifer nodded. The boys need to understand success and failure. It's a valuable lesson. Tyler held up his new PlayStation. Yeah, our dad is successful. That's why we get good stuff. I said nothing. I simply pulled out my phone and checked a message. See? She can't even defend herself, Marcus continued. That's the problem. No ambition. No drive. You're 32 years old and you have nothing to show for it. Marcus has a point, Jennifer added. You still rent that tiny apartment. You drive a car from 2009. Emma deserves better, but you're not providing it. Mom shifted uncomfortably. Maybe we should just enjoy the party. No, she needs to hear this, Marcus interrupted. I've been successful because I took risks. I work 80-hour weeks. I built something. What has she built? Nothing. Emma returned from the kitchen, still clutching the broken Barbie. She sat next to me silently. Marcus stood up and walked to the window. You know what? Jennifer and I have been talking. Next month, we're moving to that new beach house development in Coral Bay. 5 bedrooms, ocean view, private beach access. That's what success looks like. The houses there start at $2 million, Jennifer added proudly. We closed on ours last week. Boys, show her the pictures, Marcus instructed. Tyler pulled out his phone and showed Emma photos of a massive white house with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking turquoise water. This is our new house. It has a pool and a game room just for us. Emma looked at the photos, then down at her broken doll. That's the difference between winners and losers, Marcus said directly to Emma. Your mom makes excuses. My boys will learn to make money. I checked my phone again. Another message. Perfect timing. You know what I find interesting? I said quietly. You mentioned Coral Bay. Marcus turned. Yeah. So what about it? I reached into my bag and pulled out a set of keys. These are interesting keys. Want to know what they're for? Jennifer laughed. What, your storage unit? No, I placed the keys on the coffee table. They're master keys for the Coral Bay development. The room went silent. What are you talking about? Marcus asked slowly. I pulled out my phone and opened an email. This is from the development company. Subject line. Final inspection approval for Coral Bay Phase 2. Marcus's face changed. Why would you have that? Because I own the development company. I let that sink in. The bookstore you mentioned? That's my weekend hobby. My actual job is running Meridian Property Development. We built Coral Bay. Jennifer's mouth fell open. That's not possible. I opened another email and turned my phone toward them. Here's the corporate registry. Meridian Property Development, founded 8 years ago. Primary owner and CEO listed as me. We've developed 4 major residential communities in the past 5 years. Coral Bay is our flagship project. Mom stared. Honey, is this true? The bookstore was Mom's, I explained. When she wanted to retire, I bought it to keep it running. I work there on weekends because I love it. My actual office is downtown. 30th floor. Marcus grabbed my phone. His eyes scanned the email. The color drained from his face. Wait, he said. If you own the development company. Then I approved your purchase, I finished. The application came across my desk 3 weeks ago. Marcus Reynolds, commercial real estate agent, purchasing unit 247. I recognized the name, obviously. Jennifer stood up. Marcus, what is she saying? I pulled a folder from my bag. I have your purchase agreement right here. All the documents you signed. You probably didn't notice the fine print about owner approval for all sales. Marcus's hands shook as he took the folder. This can't be right. Page 7, paragraph 3, I said calmly. All sales are subject to final approval by ownership. I haven't signed off on your purchase yet. But we already put down the deposit, Jennifer said, her voice rising. $200,000. Fully refundable if ownership denies the application, I noted. Also on page 7. Tyler looked confused. Dad, what's happening? Marcus flipped through the papers frantically. You can't do this. We already told everyone. My clients, our friends, Jennifer's parents. We're supposed to move in next month. About that. I took the folder back. I built Coral Bay to be a family-friendly community. Respectful families. People who teach their children kindness. You're being ridiculous, Jennifer snapped. We're perfect for that community. I looked at Emma, still holding her broken Barbie. Emma, honey, tell me something. If you had a nice new doll and you saw another child with a broken one, what would you do? Emma's voice was small. I'd share mine. Exactly. I turned back to Marcus. That's the difference between Emma and your boys. She understands kindness. You're teaching them that cruelty is success. Marcus's face turned red. Now wait a minute. You can't judge my parenting. I can when you're applying to live in my community. I stood up. I designed Coral Bay for families who want their children to grow up with strong values, not families who teach 7-year-olds that other children deserve broken toys because their parents are failures. Mom finally spoke. Honey, how long have you been running this company? 8 years. I started with a small townhouse project and grew from there. Last year's revenue was $43 million, I said simply. Jennifer grabbed Marcus's arm. Do something. You're a real estate agent. You know people. I am doing something, I said. I'm denying your application. As of now, Unit 247 is back on the market. Marcus stepped forward. You can't do this over one comment. I'll apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. They're done. It's not one comment, I said. It's who you are. You spent this entire morning humiliating your sister and her daughter to make yourself feel bigger. You gave a child a broken toy specifically to hurt her. That's not the kind of person I want in my community. Tyler started crying. But Dad promised. We already told our friends. Maybe your dad should have thought about that before he decided to be cruel, I said quietly. Marcus's voice rose. You've been lying to this whole family for 8 years. Pretending to be some struggling single mom while you're secretly rich. I never lied. I work at a bookstore. That's true. I never said it was my only job. I picked up my keys. And I'm not rich. I'm comfortable. There's a difference. I live modestly because Emma doesn't need to think money defines worth. Mom looked at Marcus with disappointment. Marcus, what you said to Emma was cruel. I was joking, he protested. Jokes are funny, I said. That was just mean. And Emma is 7 years old. She doesn't deserve that. Jennifer tried a different approach. Look, we've already started packing. We gave notice on our current house. Where are we supposed to go? That's not my problem. I knelt beside Emma. Sweetie, how about we go to the toy store tomorrow and you pick out any Barbie you want? Emma nodded, smiling through her tears. Marcus slumped into a chair. Mom, say something. Tell her she's being unreasonable. Mom shook her head. I think you need to hear this, Marcus. You've become someone I don't recognize. Money changed you. My career changed me, he argued. It made me successful. It made you mean, Mom said simply. Your father would be ashamed. That hit Marcus hard. He stared at the floor. I gathered Emma's coat. We're going to head out. Mom, thank you for having us. Wait, Marcus said. What if I actually change? What if we prove we can be better? I paused. Then reapply in 6 months. If I see genuine change, I'll reconsider. 6 months. Jennifer gasped. Where do we live for 6 months? You figure it out. That's what people with ambition do, right? I helped Emma with her coat. Come on, sweetie. As we walked to the door, Emma turned back. Uncle Marcus, I forgive you. Mommy says forgiveness is important. Marcus looked at her and for the first time shame crossed his face. In the car, Emma held the broken Barbie carefully. Mommy, can we fix her? Absolutely. We'll fix her up and she'll be perfect. Even though she's broken now? Especially because she's broken now. Sometimes broken things become the most special when we take care of them properly. Emma smiled. Like us. I squeezed her hand. Like us. My phone buzzed, an email from Marcus. Please. Can we talk? I deleted it and kept driving. Some lessons need time to sink in. 6 months later, a new application landed on my desk. Marcus Reynolds reapplying for Coral Bay. Attached was a letter detailing volunteer work, family counseling sessions, and a personal apology written to Emma. I read it carefully. Then I picked up the phone and called my approvals department. About application 247R, I said. Let's schedule a final interview. Some people can change, but they need the right motivation. And sometimes, that motivation comes from losing something they took for granted.